Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are talking about the Advanced Player's Guide. And we are talking about the ancestry, the full-blooded orcs. So let's get started. If this is your first time here, smash that subscribe button and hammer that like button. If you have been a fan of the channel for a while, you can support us by going down in the links below. We will have a link to the Advanced Player's Guide if you want to purchase it and you haven't got it yet. Or if you want to go over to the Master the Game store, buy your own gear, whether it's, trying to get a hoodie for the cold seasons coming up, or you want to get a tank top for the spring or summer, t-shirts, stickers, anything you can think of. We probably have it over the store if you need a mask for COVID, all that good stuff. Again, purchasing from the store helps us tremendously. It allows us to buy more books, buy more, gaming stuff to review, all that. So again, thank you very much for the support you've given us. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you for all the support you guys have given us. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to continually upgrade our equipment and purchase some of these games that we've been running on the channel and playing with some of you guys as well as some of our other fans of the channel. Thank you again. All right, so let's get into orcs, right? So orcs are going to be they're very stereotypical. Like anything you can think of an orc is pretty much in line with this, right? They are a beefy ancestry with 10 hit points. Their ability boosts are in strength and they get a free boost. So there's no negatives. So the idea that, orcs can't be smart or orcs can't be this or that, throw that idea out the window. You can make an orc pretty much anything you want without any penalty to it. So again, that's kind of cool. I really like it. And I've already got my wheels spinning on some things I would like to do with orcs. Now, they get dark vision. So again, that's kind of cool, right? Dark vision's great because you don't have to worry about torches and light sources and all of that, which can be such a pain in the butt for a lot of groups. I know plenty of groups that choose all ancestries based on dark vision across multiple systems. So that's a cool thing right there. Now there's 4 types of orcs. You have the Badlands Orc, Deep Orc, Hold Scarred Orc, and the Rainfall Orc. Badlands Orc. You come from sun-scorched Badlands where long legs and an ability to withstand the elements helped you thrive. You can hustle twice as long while exploring before you have to stop. And you treat environmental heat effects as if they were one step less extreme. Incredible heat becomes extreme. Extreme heat becomes severe, and so on. So this is a cool one, especially if you play a lot of like overland travel games where time is of the essence. If you're dealing with a lot of, obviously extreme heats and stuff, this could be a very cool thing. I just imagine playing in a setting similar to like Dark Sun, but playing as an orc like this there. Something like that would be a lot of fun. Personally, I haven't explored using those elements in my games as a game master. I could see how this could be very effective in those types of campaigns. The Deep Orc. Your calloused hands and red eyes speak to a life spent in the deep darkness of mountain caverns, where you learn to battle on rocky cliffs and survive with minimal resources. You gain the Terrain Expertise skill feat for underground terrain and the Combat Climber skill feat. Combat Climber is kind of cool. You only need one free hand to climb, all that. Like, I really think this is a cool heritage. I love the Terrain Expertise skill. I think, again, this is going to be very useful. Again, orcs are going to come across as more martial classes, in my opinion, most of the time. And that's just how I feel when I'm reading these things. Hold Scarred Orc. You are part of an orc community that participates in ritual, scarification, or tattooing. The marks on your skin show your exceptional hardiness and vitality. You gain 12 hit points from your ancestry instead of 10. You also gain the Die Hard feat. Yes, this is what you want. If you're playing an orc, I feel like this right here is exactly what you're going to want. It translates very well for what you would think of an orc. They got to be hardy, resilient. They got to take damage. Again, this is a great one. Rainfall Orc. You were born in a rainforest with only tangles of trees, providing protection from torrential rainstorms and flash floods. You've learned more to move adeptly through jungle terrain and resist the various ailments common in humid environments. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to athletics checks, to climb or swim, and a +1 circumstance bonus to saving throws against diseases. Now, you guys already know what I think about the whole saving throws against diseases thing. I don't feel like that is something that's going to come up a lot in most games, personally. I know there's, times when that will come up, and it can be pretty detrimental, but, I'm not too worried about that. The +2 to athletics for climbing and swimming, I think that's going to be cool. But again, I think this is one of the lesser choices. It's going to be situational, I think, to the campaign for me. I feel like right off the bat, the Hold Scarred Orc is going to be the best. I think the Deep Orc's going to be really good. And I could see the Badlands Orc being probably third, with the Rainfall Orc being the least, useful for me. So now, Orc Ancestry Feats. First level, Beast Trainer. You have an impressive innate ability to tame and command ferocious beasts. You become trained in the nature skill and gain the train animal skill feat. So this is cool if you want a mount or if you want some kind of companion. I could see taking this. Iron Fists. Your fists have been forged by battle. Your naturally tough skin and dense bone further hardened by conflict. Your fist unarmed strikes no longer have the non-lethal trait and gain the shove weapon trait. So if you want to be lethal with your hands, it's a good one. Personally, that's not something I'm going to take usually. Orc Lore. The Hold Elders taught you your people's histories, told tales of great athletic feats, and shared with you the hardships your ancestors endured, so that you can pass this wisdom down to future generations. You become trained in athletics and survival. If you would automatically become trained in one of those skills from your background or class, for example, you instead become trained in a skill of your choice. You also become trained in Orc Lore. So again, I could see taking this one for the athletics and survival, being trained there, especially if you don't get that from a class or background. Anytime you can kind of get these skills that are fairly common, I think it's a good feat, right? Tusks. You have particularly long, jagged tusks, perfect for tearing meat from bone. You gain a Tusks unarmed attack that deals 1d6 piercing damage. Your tusks are in the brawling group and have the finesse and unarmed traits. You can take this feat only at first level, and you can't retrain into this feat. You can retrain out of this feat only through drastic measures, such as breaking or filing your tusks. So, again, there's a lot of ancestries that have this bite damage. It could be good, especially if you are playing, say, a spellcaster and you don't want to take spells that you're going to have to do up close. Again, there are certain classes where they incorporate some of this kind of stuff into them. So I think that could be interesting, especially if it fits your theme, right? But for me, again, I don't know if I'm going to take something like that very often. At 5th level, Athletic Might. Surviving in hostile terrain has given you a great talent for mobility. Whenever you roll a success on an athletics check to climb or swim, you get a critical success instead. So maybe you pair up Athletic Might with something like the Rainfall Orc that already gives you bonuses to climbing and swimming. Pair this up with that. It will jump a regular success to a critical success. That's just a good combo. There's some good synergy there, right? Bloody Blows. Your lethal unarmed attacks leave bloody gouges or cause severe internal bleeding. When you critically hit with a strike using an unarmed attack that isn't non-lethal, the target takes 1d4 persistent bleed damage. This can be because you're taking the penalty to use a fist for a lethal attack, or because you have an unarmed attack without the non-lethal trait due to Iron Fist, Tusks, or a similar ability. So again, this pairs well with Tusks, Iron Fists. Being able to do the persistent 1d4 damage, that's a pretty big deal. Again, you're not necessarily relying on weapons, and you're going to be doing that every round. So your 1d6 from your Tusks could be up to 10 points of damage every round. That's again, I could see that being good together. But For me, I would probably play an orc where he's using some kind of axe or, weapon. But that's just me. Hold mark. You bear scars or tattoos enhanced by the mark of your community's prowess. When you select this feat, choose one of the options on the following page. When you critically hit using a weapon of the listed group, you apply the weapon's critical specialization effect. You gain a large brand or tattoo in the shape of the chosen emblem or similar image. For example, the axe could be a bear or other symbol of ferocious strength, while the shield might be a turtle or another symbol associated with a strong defense, and gain the listed benefit. So again, the weapon types are axe, shield, and torch. So again, I would probably be trying to get this because being able to use your critical hit specialization is so good. The sooner you can do that, the better. So I would probably take the axe personally. Although if you take shield, a hammer or a shield works. So maybe you could use a hammer and a shield. Something like that might be good. But I would probably go axe most of the time. 9th level feats. Death's Drums. Your life has been spent challenging death itself, and proximity to that implacable foe only makes your heart beat harder. When you are taking persistent damage or your wounded value is 1 or greater, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to fortitude saving throws. Okay, so having the bonus to fortitude, that's kind of nice. When you're taking persistent damage or your wounded value is 1 or greater, you gain a +2. Yeah, you really need it when you're hurting like that. But I don't know. I don't know if I would take it or not. I think it would depend on how lethal my Game Master's games are personally. But I don't know. Undying Ferocity. You resist death's clutches with supernatural vigor. When you use Orc Ferocity, you gain temporary hit points equal to your level. So Orc Ferocity was in the core rulebook. This again is really good, I think. The temporary hit points equal to your level is huge. You're talking about 9th level, you're gaining 9 hit points, right? So again, I think that one could see a lot of use. At 13th level, Ferocious Beasts. Prerequisite is Beast Trainer, which is a level 1 feat, or Animal Companion. It also has Orc Ferocity. Since ancient times, the mightiest orc beast tamers would draw out the true fighting spirit of their companion beasts by feeding the creatures a draft incorporating the orc's own blood. Animal companions or bonded animals you have gain the Orc Ferocity feat, and they gain a reaction they can use only for Orc Ferocity. If you have the Undying Ferocity Ancestry feat, all animal companions or bonded animals you have also gain the benefits of that feat when using the Orc Ferocity reaction. Wow. So you could have some lethal companions that don't want to go down. Spell Devourer. So you need Pervasive Superstition from the core rulebook. You don't just resist magic, you devour it. Whenever you succeed at a saving throw against a spell or magical effect, you gain temporary HP equal to double the spell's level, or equal to the level if the magical effect isn't a spell. These temporary hit points last until the end of your next turn. So that's a big deal. Someone's slinging spells at you and you succeed, you're going to get temporary hit points. If it was a 5th level spell, you're gaining double the spell's level. So 10 hit points for at least a round. So that's a big deal. 17th level, Rampaging Ferocity. Prerequisite is Orc Ferocity, and the trigger is you use Orc Ferocity. So you lash out viciously even as you fend off death. Make a single melee strike. If the strike brings a foe to 0 hit points, this activation of Orc Ferocity doesn't count against its frequency. So again, orcs I think are really good. I think they lend themselves to being more martial classes, but there's not a ton here preventing you from playing a spellcaster, right? The Spell Devourer thing is kind of cool, being able to temporarily gain hit points to be able to negate some of the squishiness of those classes, I think lends itself really well to this ancestry. Being able to have things like unarmed attacks that are actually pretty efficient, or being able to do bite attacks that are kind of efficient, again, are all really good things. The defense this ancestry brings is going to help a ton, no matter what class you want to be. So again, this is another class that I think is really good. I personally like it more than the Catfolk. I think it's on par with the Kobold when it comes to efficiency. If you want to check out the other videos I've done about the Ancestries in the Advanced Player's Guide, be sure to click the link up here. We've talked about the Catfolk so far. We've talked about the Kobolds. We're going to be wrapping up the others in the coming weeks. So be sure to smash that subscribe button and hammer that like button if you want to see more content like this. Okay, I plan on doing all the ancestries in this book. I will then be moving on to the Lost Omens character guide ancestries and then the core rulebook ancestries. They'll all be in their own playlist, and they'll also be part of just a Pathfinder 2e playlist of ancestries in general. So everything will belong in 2 playlists. So again, if you're here for Pathfinder, thank you for joining us. We love to have you on board. This was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.